what improvements have you seen among the group that you were looking for going into this season?
It was the best preseason that we had because we were able to. This is the third year, and we did a certain thing that we were not able to do, and also in terms of the way we train, we did certain few exercises that usually we do it a little bit later, but we did it earlier. And so yeah, I took a lot of pleasure during this preseason in terms of what we did and what they can do. So now we'll see during the season, but it's been a really good preseason on the pitch.
How much, I would say, like, flexibility did you feel like you had as a coach that this was the first offseason you weren't teaching any of the players your style of play because they've all played at least some amount of time under you? How much of an advantage was that this season?
I thought, yeah, them a lot of things, and it was not the same, but it was something, an addition of certain things that we did before. So yes, I didn't want to repeat myself, but I needed to be precise on certain things that they were doing in the past, but that they were not doing often. So my job was to be more precise and concise about what we want to do now, regarding what we did the first year and the second year. So I repeated myself, but in another way.
And obviously, you guys lost 2 players, only added 1. When you look at this lineup, and where do you feel like you still are? You're personally still looking to add more depth to this lineup, and whether it be this window or the summer window, where do you still want to add?
Like I told my player, and it's going to be an easy answer for you, I like to double the position, so you can do the mathematics now.
You want to do it right
No,
now?
no, do it. Take the time, but you know that I like to double all the positions, so do your work and you'll see.
Is there any players that we should expecting to see play different? I know you.
Every year. This is not the same year. So there is players that, you know, I'm going to give you an example of Christian Ramirez. Last year was not supposed to play a lot of games, but he showed that he was important for us last year. So, and this year is going to be another player, or maybe it's going to be the confirmation of someone, I don't know. But the plan is always try to coach in the present moment. And I expect and I want that, new players comes up.
And one last thing I want to ask is, when talking to Issa about the Christian moving on, was that something, when you looked at what his future was with the team, was that something that you saw being a little more limited and that kind of played into just the decision to let him go?
No, me is easy for me. It's not easy for the front office. But if someone wants to leave, my door is open for him to leave. Simple as that. So after that, it's up to the club to see if this is good for the club or not. But after that, this is something that I said the first day when I put my feet in the pitch, and this is I am like this. And good for Christian. He had the possibility to see something different. So no problem with that.
Coach, congratulations on your 30 years head coach.
Thank you.
Game week, opening things up.
Thank you.
I'm wondering how Dylan, DeJuan Jones, and AZ Jackson have responded to the expanded period of time where you can work with them. Given the fact that over a 50-game season, you don't have those moments that you do in preseason.
No, they did well. You know, I like to. That's why this window is not the same as the one before, and I like to have a new player freshness. You know, in the window, in the summer window, I would say, because we can still have 15 games or more, and they can adjust. And for me, this is important to adjust within the season. Because we play game. This is good also when we have players for the preseason, but I like also when this is during the season. So it was good for them to see, to adjust themselves and to see what they need to improve. And obviously they are all different, but for me they did good stuff, some stuff that they have to adjust, and really really good stuff. So again, they are all completely different as a personality and also in terms of position, and also the way they are. So again, this is a 3 new signing for us, and I'm gonna try to take advantage of that.
I know with good reason, fans will lament the fact that Cucho, a goal scorer, is not on the roster this year.
Mhm.
But I looked at the last 7 regular season games for you last year. 72% of the goals that were scored by players not named Cucho. That's in the area of about 13 goals.
Mhm.
And it was 11 different players.
Mhm.
Is that Wilfried Nancy 3.0 soccer?
First of all, thank you, because you are doing a really good job. I'm not joking, because the perspective is everything, and I'm not crazy, and we are not crazy in the club, that we know that Cucho was an important player for us. No problem with that. But since I started, you could have been better, because since I started, I don't know the future. I don't know if it's gonna happen. But most of my team, we had a lot of different scorers. So in Montreal was the same, and here is the same. So this is the way I want my team play. That's why, yes, if we have one player who can score 20 goals, I'm happy with that, no problem. But the most important is also to involve everyone, because again, we face low block, we face different style of play, and our options should come from everywhere. And this is really important for me, that center back, wing back, or all type of position on the pitch should be able to score. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. So doesn't change. So that's why, again, don't get me wrong. Yes, we need to double the position. So in terms of forward, we need someone. But it doesn't mean that he can be a clear forward. He can be a versatile forward. He can be a clear forward also. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But for me, this is not the number behind, the jersey that is important. Is the way we can score goals in the different ways. And for me, this is really, 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 really important.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Wilfried, along those lines, Patrick and Darlington both said, kind of with the smaller roster right now, and no Cucho, no Christian, they've seen players play rise, the level of play rise. What have you seen from the guys, especially up front? Are they being more aggressive? Are they more confident? Is the ball moving well but differently? What are you seeing from them?
With a lot of honesty, it hasn't changed. Because the way we train to learn to run, to learn to how to run together. Wow, you understood what I mean? So I try to teach them how to run together. So front line, midfielder line, back line. So it hasn't changed, to be honest with you. So after that, they are all competitors. They do the mathematics like you. So they see that certain things. But doesn't mean that I'm going to play with only forward. For forward, I can play with midfielders. I can play with wing back. I can play with a lot of things. So after that, they are not stupid also. So again, when there is competition, when there is 2 players for one spot, they compete. So if we are missing one spot, they gotta compete also. So for me, in terms of my approach, it doesn't change, to be honest with you. And it doesn't change also for the players in terms of the way I'm going to connect with them. If we're talking about Jason, I will not sit with Jason every day to tell him, hey, now this is the day. For me, I'm not like this, because it's like in the past it was not important, and now it's important. What is the message? No, all my players are important, no matter what happens. And after that, the team is not done. So we'll see. We'll see what is going to happen. And but I respect too much my players to now, in the past, no, I didn't need you, and now I need you. No, I'm not like that. So I want a kind of a small roster, but that we can double all the position. But at the same time, yeah, they need to compete and show me that they can play also.
He just signed that contract extension. How important is that for your goalie to have the consistency and to know he's going to be here for a while?
Well, obviously, good for him. No, I will not say that. Good for him. Good for him. I told him already what I was thinking about it. He could have done it earlier, but he wanted to wait a bit, and because the club, it was clear that we wanted to keep him. So no, listen, it's interesting with Patrick because first year he played, and we had a great season. Second year, same time. Your question was, do you think that he's going to be able to be consistent for the second year? And I told you that I don't know. We're going to control what he can control. He had a pretty good season. And now this is a new season in terms of a third year as a goalkeeper with a new statue. Now, instead of living in a small apartment, he's going to buy maybe something, I don't know, big. So I don't know. I hope that it's going to be an apartment and not a car because the apartment or a big house is better than a car for me. But again, maybe he's going to do the opposite. But I will check for that. Sorry?
Report back. We want to know these things.
Yeah, no, I like to tell them that, guys, our job is fantastic. This is a privilege to do our job, and we don't have a normal life. But I try also with a lot of humility to teach them that if you want to buy something for yourself, no problem. But try to think if you can buy it twice, because sometimes they're going to buy stuff because this is a brand, because this, because that. But at the end of the day, it's good also to save your money and to save it in a good way. So that's why I like to tease them. So I hope that Pat is going to get a house before a nice car.
I could go many ways with my next question, but I'm going to go this way. Chicago.
Yes.
New coach. New style. What are you all preparing to see from them?
No, Greg is Greg.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to play. He had success in the past also with the national team, but in the past also, I remember when I was assistant coach in Montreal. So I was doing scouting also. So he likes to play. He likes to put doubt on the opposition, to unbalance with speed, and also. Usually his team likes to press also, and this is what I saw when I watched, obviously, Chicago. So it's going to be a good game, and this is not the same, with a lot of respect with the previous coach, but this is not the same style of play. So it's going to be Chicago this year, should be interesting to see.
Good time for two more.
I want to ask if you can kind of, I don't know, grade or evaluate the preseason games. Just how would you grade them and evaluate?
I don't like to answer this question, to be honest with you, because I'm going to give you an example. If you're talking about performance or result.
Oh, I'm talking performance.
You escaped. No, I was saying because, last year, for me, I like to keep this example because this is recent. If I'm not mistaken, LA Galaxy lost all their game in preseason last year. Or almost, and they finished champion. So for me, the preseason is a tool to work on certain things. We were talking about Greg, the coach of Chicago. So the last 20 minutes of one game, he decided to play with only 10 men. So we use the preseason game to try things, to develop certain chemistry. So the results are not important. Yes, for our ego, this is good when we win, but at the end of the day, this is not the most important. So in terms of performance, really good, what we did. First game versus all the game that we had, knowing that we canceled one game because of the fire. But to be honest, I like the way we have grown, a lot in terms of the way we want to play and what we want to adjust. So I was really pleased about our performance.
And how much are you guys thinking or looking back at the final Red Bulls game? Is that something you've talked about this preseason, or is that something totally in the past that you're moving on?
I'm going to talk with the player regarding that. Not about the performance, more about what we can learn from that. But to be honest with you, I haven't watched the game. It was too difficult for me. So we're going to talk about something else, not regarding only this game, but how we can be better to approach certain type of game. So it's going to be the topic.
Great, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.